What if I told you there are provinces in the Philippines where entire towns stand abandoned, homes empty, streets silent, and dreams buried under dust? Would you dare to visit a province where not a single soul wants to live anymore? Why did people pack their bags and leave forever? Is it poverty, nature's fury, or something more terrifying? One of these provinces was once called the Land of Promise. Now it's just a ghostly reminder of broken dreams. Stay till the end, because the real reason will leave you shocked. But first, tell me, which province in the Philippines is known as the Queen City of the South? I'm sure you know the answer. Drop your answer in the comment box, and let's see who gets it right. And here's another question for you. What really forces people to abandon their homeland forever? Is it money or fear? I'll answer this while we explore some of the dead provinces. Stay tuned. Dead Province 1. Samar. Once upon a time, Samar was considered a land of promise. A province so rich in natural resources that its lush forests, winding rivers, and abundant seas could make anyone believe prosperity was just within reach. But fate, as always, had other plans. Samar became a province cursed by nature's wrath. Typhoons pummel this land almost every year, tearing down homes, washing away dreams, and leaving behind nothing but memories and mud. It's said that in Samar, people don't count years, they count typhoons. The once thriving coconut farms are now graveyards of fallen trees, and locals joke that Samar's official tree should be the uprooted coconut. I remember hearing the heartbreaking story of the De La Cruz family from eastern Samar. They had a small nipa hut by the shore, 3 generations living under one roof, surviving on fishing and farming. Then came Typhoon Yolanda. It didn't knock. It barged in like an uninvited guest and left the family with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Today, they live cramped in a Manila slum, sharing space with strangers, dreaming of the salty Samar breeze they may never breathe again. And here's the sad part. Even the goats had the good sense to leave the province. You know it's bad when even the goats pack up and leave, an old farmer once laughed bitterly. But Samar's tragedy isn't just about storms and poverty. It's the kind of place where the silence speaks louder than the wind. There are parts of Samar so remote and lawless that even GPS signals seem scared to go there. Locals whisper about rebel-infested mountains where strangers are watched. You don't wander off the road here because you may never find your way back. What's scarier, I ask you? The abandoned fields, or the silence that whispers forgotten stories of those who dared to stay? And here's a question to think about. Would you dare to visit a land where even nature seems to have given up? Stick with me, because what you'll discover next might just shock you even more. Dead Province 2. Basilan. If beauty could save a place, Basilan would have been a paradise. With its crystal-clear waters, powdery white beaches, and lush mountains, Basilan had all the makings of a tourist haven, the kind of place you'd see on postcards or dream about for a peaceful retirement. But sadly, dreams don't always match reality. Beneath Basilan's natural charm lies a dark history of conflict, violence, and fear. Decades of clashes between armed groups and government forces turned this jewel of the South into a no-go zone. Kidnappings became so common that even local families started checking guest lists twice before inviting relatives over. Basilan, the place where even locals think twice before visiting family. The saddest part? It wasn't always like this. Older residents still remember the days when fishing boats lined the shores, markets buzzed with fresh catch, and laughter echoed through the coastal villages. I once spoke to Mang Ernesto, an old fisherman who had spent his entire life casting his nets in Basilan's rich waters. But now, his boat lies rotting on the shore, his nets untouched. "What's the point?" he sighed. "There's no one left to buy the fish. They've either fled or they're too scared to step outside." Imagine that, a sea full of fish, but not a soul left to taste it. A paradise, lost to its own people. And what's even more heartbreaking is how the media sealed Basilan's fate. One headline after another painted it as a land of terror, danger, and despair, until people stopped seeing the beauty and only remembered the bullets. Today, Basilan remains frozen in time, its beaches empty, its villages silent, and its people trapped between the sea and fear. And here's a question for you. What's worse, dying from poverty or living every day in fear? Stay with me, because the next province on our list might just change how you see the Philippines forever. Dead Province, 3 Tawi-Tawi. Tawi-Tawi, the Philippines' southernmost frontier, is a province so far off the map, it feels like you're standing at the edge of the world. Blessed with untouched beauty, turquoise waters, and endless skies, Tawi-Tawi could have been the country's best-kept secret. But here's the catch. Secrets, no matter how beautiful, fade when no one's around to witness them. Tawi-Tawi's curse isn't war or disaster. It's isolation. Its remoteness made development nearly impossible. There are villages where the sight of a cell phone tower still feels like a miracle, and locals joke, the next island after Tawi-Tawi is boredom. It's funny until you realize it's also true. With no industries, no jobs, and no hope, the young generation did what anyone would. They left. Manila, Cebu, or abroad, anywhere but here. What remains are the elderly, staring at empty chairs once filled with their children's laughter. Fishing boats lie idle, schools stand half-empty, and festivals? Well, there's no one left to celebrate. The province, once rich in Samar and Tausug traditions, is now a ghost of its vibrant past. "What good is beauty," one old fisherman said, "if no one's left to see it?" And honestly, he has a point. Now here's something to really think about. Would you ever live in a place where the only noise is the sound of waves and your own thoughts haunting you? That's the daily reality of Tawi-Tawi. Stunning, peaceful, but so empty it'll make you question your own sanity. And trust me, what's coming next on our journey will make you wonder. How does a land so rich, so beautiful, just die? Stay with me, because the next province on our list hides a story darker than you think. Dead Province 4, Abra. Nestled in the rugged mountains of northern Luzon, Abra is a province once celebrated for its rich history, centuries-old Spanish churches, and ancient weaving traditions. Walking through its old towns feels like stepping back in time. A place where cobblestone paths, wooden ancestral houses, and Catholic relics tell stories of a once thriving community. But today, Abra's beauty feels like a haunted painting. Stunning, yet unsettling. What was once a symbol of pride has slowly turned into a land people fear to call home, and as locals now joke darkly, Abra, where the ghosts of the past roam free and the living vanish one by one. The real tragedy of Abra isn't what's visible, it's what's missing. Decades of political killings, clan wars, and fear forced its people into silence and exile. The weaving industry, once the heart of Abra's identity, is now just a fading memory. I met Aling Rosa, a weaver in her 70s, who hasn't touched her loom in years. "What's the use?" she whispered. "The market's gone, my buyers left, and my hands are too old to fight for what's already dead." Her words hit me. This wasn't just economic collapse. It was a cultural death. Abra didn't just lose people, it lost its soul. But what really killed Abra? Was it the bullets or the silence that followed? Today, many towns sit half empty, where laughter once echoed. Now only the sound of the wind fills the streets. Locals live in constant fear, knowing that here, disappearances aren't just stories, they're reality. And I'll leave you with this chilling question. Would you dare live in a place where making enemies could mean disappearing forever? Stay with me, because the final province we're about to explore will show you how even a city of dreams can turn into a city of ashes. Dead Province 5. Marawi City. Once called the Islamic City of the Philippines, Marawi was a thriving cultural and economic center in Mindanao. Rich in tradition, Islamic architecture, and a bustling market life that made it the heart of Lanao del Sur. Its people were proud, its mosques majestic, and its lake, Lake Lanao, glistened like a jewel. But in 2017, everything changed. A war broke out that no one saw coming, the Marawi siege. Months of gunfire, bombings, and destruction turned this vibrant city into a massive pile of rubble. From minarets to ruins, from laughter to silence, one survivor described it. Today, Marawi stands like a forgotten battlefield, beautiful once, but now feared by many. I met a former school teacher, Aling Mariam, who used to teach hundreds of students in a madrasa near the city center. They were bright kids, full of dreams, she smiled faintly. But the siege turned those dreams into ashes. Schools were bombed, homes destroyed, and families scattered across evacuation centers, never to return. Aling Mariam now lives in a cramped relocation site, staring at old class photos she saved from the rubble. I still remember their faces. I just don't know where they are now. Imagine that. A city once so full of life, now reduced to memories and missing people. And the scariest part? Years later, Marawi remains dead. Billions were promised for rehabilitation, but most of the city is still in ruins. A ghost town guarded by soldiers, where only the wind and the whispers of the past roam freely. They say the loudest sound in Marawi today is silence. And that makes you wonder, what truly destroys a city? Bombs or broken promises? Stick with me, because as we wrap up this journey, I'll reveal the real reason why provinces like these die and what it means for the future of the Philippines. And there you have it. Provinces once full of life, dreams, and promises, now reduced to silence, shadows, and stories few dare to tell. But the real question is, did these provinces die on their own? Or did we, the system, the society, the people, slowly turn our backs until they simply faded away? Remember, a place only truly dies when it's forgotten. And maybe, just maybe, by telling their stories today, we've given these dead provinces a chance to breathe again. So tell me in the comments, which of these provinces would you dare to visit, and which one gave you chills? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because next time we're uncovering places even darker and more forgotten than this.